Hey guys, I am here to do some old wives' tale gender predictions. I am currently almost 17 weeks pregnant. I'll be 17 weeks on Friday, and we are almost a week away from finding out what I am having. I find out on the 28th, and I'll be sure to let you know. I did this with Peyton, so I will leave a link up above in the iCards, so you can go and check that out. And we're just gonna jump right on into it. I do want to add that this is strictly just for fun. We're not buying anything or doing anything off of these tests. Alright, so the very first test I did was the Mayan, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, gender test. And that just is a calendar, and it looks at your age at conception and the month of conception. And it goes by if it's odd or even. I'll leave a link down below of the one that I looked at for this, and both of the numbers were odd. I was 23 when this baby was conceived, and we conceived in July. So both of those are odd, therefore according to that we're having a little girl. The next one I did was the heart rate, and it says that if you are, if your child has a heart rate under 140, it's a boy, and if it's over 140, it's a girl. And this baby has been between 150 and 155, so we're going to leave that point to a girl also. The third one is dreams. They say if you dream you're having a girl, then you're having a boy, and vice versa. I had a dream that we were having a little girl, so we're going to give that point to a boy. The fourth gender prediction wise tale is if you had morning sickness or not. They say if you have morning sickness, you're having a girl, and if you don't have morning sickness, you're having a boy. I never threw up. I did have 2 or 3 days in the first trimester where if I smelled something, I felt nauseous, but I never actually got sick, so we're going to give that point to a boy. The fifth test I did was the baking soda test, and I will leave that link up above, so if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you click on that real fast before I ruin this for you. But that test did come back as this being a girl. The sixth test I did was the needle and wrist test. You're going to hold a long piece of thread with a needle on the end over your left wrist, and if it goes back and forth, it's a girl, and if it goes in a circle, then it's a boy. And I will insert the clip of me doing that right now.
Alright, I hope you guys can tell, but it is doing a back and forth motion, which indicates girl.
As you've seen in that clip, the test determined that we are having a little girl. The seventh test that I did was your hair growth, and if your hair is growing fast, like your armpit hair, your leg hair, your hair, anything like that, if that's growing fast, then you're having a girl. If it's going slow, then you're having a boy. And my hair is definitely growing fast, so we're going to be giving that point to a girl. The eighth test asks if you have dry skin or not. If you have dry skin, they say you're having a boy, and if you do not have dry skin, they say you're having a girl. And I do not have dry skin, so we'll be giving that point to a girl again. The ninth test I did is if you are carrying high or low. If you're carrying high, they say you're having a girl, and if you're carrying low, they say you're having a boy. I personally think that I am carrying low, just like I did with Peyton, so we're going to give that point to a boy. The 10th test is your firstborn's or your last child's hairline. I only have one, so I looked at my son Peyton's hairline, and I'm going to insert a picture of that here. This wise tale says that if your child's hair comes to a point, then you're having the opposite gender, and if it is a straight line, then you are having the same gender. Peyton's is straight, as you just seen in that picture, therefore we're going to be giving that point to a boy. The 11th test I did looks at your cravings, and it says if you are craving sour things, then you're having a boy, and if you're craving sweet things, then you're having a girl. I've been craving sour from the get-go, so we're going to be giving that point to a boy. The 12th test that I did is the creepy ring test. I seen this test on Facebook and decided to give it a try. I will link that up in the iCards above, so you can go and check that video out if you haven't seen it already before I spoil it. But it is a test that you use a piece of your hair and a wedding band or just a ring that you own. So I did that test, and they say that it counts losses, and it did count losses for people that I know that did it. So I believe it counted a loss for me too. So it said boy, boy, girl, boy. So from that test, this baby should be a little girl. The 13th test is whether or not you have acne. They say if you have acne during your pregnancy that it's your daughter stealing your beauty, and if they say you don't and that you're glowing, then you're having a little boy. I have had acne from pretty much the beginning of finding out I was pregnant, around 3 weeks, and I still have it right now. I'm sure you can probably see that. So we're gonna give that point to a girl as well. The 14th test that I did is the mother's intuition test, and if you asked me in the beginning of my pregnancy, I was dead set that this was a boy. You couldn't tell me otherwise, and about 2 to 3 weeks ago I did switch over, and now I think that we are having a little girl. And the very last test, number 15, is the Chinese gender calendar predictor test. I will leave a link to the one I use down below, and this looks at your lunar age and the date, I believe, of conception, or the month of conception, and it looks at that, and then it gives you whether you're having a boy or girl, and according to that we're having a boy. So that is a total of 15 tests, and as you see up above, baby girl 1. So according to all of this, we should be having a girl. The girls got 9 points where the boys got 6. So we will find out in less than 2 weeks if the old wives' tales were right or not. Make sure to check out my video when I did this with Peyton if you haven't already, and make sure to subscribe to find out what we're having. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.